back to the College Cinephile. I am Marcus. I am joined by Tate.
Tate.
And today we're going to be talking about Zombieland 10 years later. This movie is directed by Ruben Fleischer and stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. And yeah, thank you for joining me, Tate. And what'd you think about the movie?
Oh, well, to be honest with you, when I was younger, this used to be my favorite movie of all time because it came out when I was in middle school, and this was definitely a movie for middle and high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when this movie came out, I went to go see it in theaters, and now that it's 10 years later, I feel old, and I'm slowly dying of depression. Now, tell me a bit about the story. What goes on in this movie?
Well, the zombie apocalypse happens in 2009, and it follows an introverted man who, through his neuroses, has kept him alive while trying to survive the zombie onslaught. On his way out of Austin, Texas, he runs into a seemingly deranged man who loves nothing more than killing zombies, and they are later joined by a pair of sisters, and the sisters turn their objective from heading eastbound to westbound to an amusement park that they believe is totally zombie-free.
Nice. And this story is more of like a road trip comedy in a sense with zombie elements around it, right?
Yeah, with a bit of action horror spliced into it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. This movie is really funny. Like I was like bellyache laughing during this movie, even during a second time around. Yeah.
Well, probably on my 25th watch, this was interesting in that it didn't quite catch me in the ways that it has before, but I still had fun with it overall.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie, and I think it's mostly because of the relationship between Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson's character, Tallahassee and Columbus. They're both they're complete opposites of each other, and they can play off each other a lot better.
That's probably the best part.
Yeah, the relationship between the two is just like, it's very, very funny, and I think it holds up in the comedy end. But like, what do you think of the effects?
Oh my God, they've dated horribly. Some of them have. Like back then, it was a bit more forgiving, but now, oh my God, they look awful. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, really? I thought they aged pretty well. Like, not gonna lie, it still looks like intense as a zombie movie would. But I get what you're saying. It's sort of like we've seen so much like gore and those types of effects in movies today that really like look better than this one. But I feel like, and this is another reason why we're doing this video, is because in a couple 2 weeks, I think the second movie comes out, and I think right there they're gonna probably up the effects on the zombie blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did some research into it, and it seems like the sequel is going to have almost double the budget of the original.
Oh, wow.
So let's hope they put that to good use.
Yeah, and hopefully they bring in like double the box office too. Like this movie did okay in the box office. Not too good, not too bad.
Yeah.
And hopefully that sort of nostalgia that brought people from the first one to the second one, I hope that plays over and hopefully sends this movie off into another good one.
Do you think the sequel would be all that successful, though, in that case? I mean, it's a sequel that's, everybody wanted a sequel immediately after the first one came out. Everybody was all for it. I think there was even a TV show or two that spawned from it briefly, but just didn't really get all that popular. But with this, it's been 10 years. Yeah. I don't know if that's the best idea to continue on with something like Zombieland after 10 years, especially because I feel like Zombieland, more than anything, is a product of its time. I've grown up, Twinkies are very overrated.
Yeah, I believe that. I just feel like, whenever we watched that movie, we were all in high school, and now we're all established like into college or going into our careers now. I feel like it's a nostalgia trip, basically. It's a way for us to latch on to the past. And I'm pretty sure everybody, us and including everybody in the studio, has seen Zombieland at least once. We've grown up, all of us knew like the movie title Zombieland. We all knew the actors that were in it. We all just knew it as a movie we grew up with. And I feel like a majority of us are going to go back into the movie theater being like, okay, this is a couple years later, we've grown up and we get to see these characters again. I just kind of feel like it's more or less a nostalgia trip for those who grew up in this movie.
Yeah. I could kind of see that. Like, I'm not going to immediately dismiss the sequel, but I am very wary of it.
Okay.
Personally.
All right, I feel that. Overall, what would you rate this movie 10 years later?
Zombieland 10th anniversary viewing. Normally I would give it a 7 or 6 out of 10, but for the producers, I would give it a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? Cool. For me, I really like this movie. I grew up with it. I really like the actors. I like how they play off each other. And I still believe that it holds up to today. I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 5. For nostalgia reasons, of course. Thank you for tuning in to the College Cinephile. If we like what we do here, please subscribe and check out our other videos. We make a lot, and we hope you like them.